Hi, this is Eric Martin, Report Game Geek. I'm here at Giovanni Messina from Mojito Studios, and we're looking at the new edition of Cleopatra and the Society of Architects by Bruno Cathala and Ludovic Malblanc. Came out a long time ago.
Yeah, a long time
Eons ago.
More than 10 years ago, actually. Yeah. Yes.
So I would assume this game is new to most people, or at least maybe perhaps they've heard of it, but they don't know anything about the game.
Probably the real gamers still remember the original one. You know?
I still have my copy. I am there with you.
This is a completely new edition with new models. Well, I have to say that what you see here is 3D printed, so the final look will be different, and also the printed stuff is a bit will be more shiny. You know, it's just to show the first prototype of the game, and so the game is brand new, as you are, and with new illustrator, is Miguel Coimbra, well-known artist. So we really love what he is doing with this game, and with new rules. So just to have a very quick overview, in the original game, you have to collect cards. You trying to find the right materials that you need to build the different part of the Cleopatra palace. Okay, and so you need workers, and I mean stones, wood, you know, and collecting these cards. Then you have to spend them to build the different part of the palace, and the Sphinx, okay, the columns, and to create the gardens with these tiles like the Tetris, no, in a game, and you have to put them and try to take control of some of the garden, you know. And every time one of the sections, for example, the Sphinx, is completed, Cleopatra moves one step forward to her brand new home, you know, brand new house. And so during the game, you can also hire these guys here and pay for their help. Of course, they give you some ability, you know, for that round. And for example, you can, let's say I wanna his help, so I will pay the cost, and of course the other two become cheaper then, and of course this one will be the most expensive for the next round. And this is some of the new, that comes in the new rules of the game. Yeah. In the previous version, these characters were in the deck. So now there is less randomness when you play, because you can just you cannot be so too lucky because you just draw the right guy at the right moment. No, now you just have to pay if you want to have his help.
Planning ahead for what you need for that, and looking at what other people are doing, try to take advantage of that.
Yes, exactly. Okay. And so every time Cleopatra moves, when she finally reaches the final step, the game is over, no? And the new house is ready. Okay. What else? In the original game, you have to do an auction during the game. It could happen or not, depending on the result of the die, if you remember. Yes. But now there is just one. It happens just one time between the third and the fourth round, where every player can join in an auction. Of course, secretly they bid. And if you have the highest amount of money, let's say it's money, okay, there are points, okay, at the end of the game, you can get rid of all the corruption token that you get during the game. Because in Cleopatra, you want to be the fastest and build the most part of the palace, and so maybe you ask for some extra help every time you
cut corners, I guess.
Yes. You get some corruption tokens that you have to hide inside your pyramid. Here are the tokens, okay? And so at the end of the game, if you have too many of these tokens, you will be used to feed the crocodiles. Okay, so you want to be rich, but not too much corrupted. Okay. That's the idea. And again, this final rule is a little bit less punishing than the original version. So you just really need to be very, very corrupted to be to skip the final count of the points. Okay. So, talking again about the game itself, well, finally you have to build these gardens, and this is another way to spend your corruption tokens, since you can use this salary style, covering the plants here to get more points, or any way you can flip these tiles or whatever you want, and you just say, okay, let's do something like this. For example, you can put your figure, every player got 2 of this for the game, and you say, I put this here. And so at the end of the game, for every space of your garden, you can discard the same number of corruption tokens. Okay. So it's one more way, to balance,
yourself,
to save yourself. Yes, yeah. exactly. This game also comes with 2 new expansion models that you can use or not. Okay. One of the 2 is the Sobek figure. Okay. This is new for you as well. You can buy this figure as any other part of the palace, so it has its own cost that you just have to pay. Okay. But there are one less than the number of players. Okay, so not everybody will be able to buy the Sobek figure. Okay. And you just play it in one of your gardens. So let's say here, so the number of tokens will be by 2, okay? Okay. So it's an even better way to spend to discard the tokens. About the palace, here we have, at the beginning of the game, of course, there are no columns at all, and inside you will see probably the floor, you will see the roof, okay, inside the building, so it's very high detailed. And the final version, we are working to have some magnets like here. Okay, so when you really build the palace, every piece goes exactly where it has to go. Right. Okay, and you don't have the pieces that fall down. Okay. Okay. And that's the main difference. Is I forgot the other expansion. It will be a big die, engraved big die, and the new rules, if you want to use that module, is that you roll that die every time you build something. And if you find on every face of the die, you see one of the different type of buildings, okay? And if you already built that building, you get a bonus, okay, for that building. So it's better if you build different type of buildings during the game. So you have to move wisely, and that's it. That's about a new game. We are going to have a Kickstarter, just because there's a lot of stuff here inside the box. Yes. And probably there will be 2 boxes, one with the base game and one with some extra fancy stuff inside. It's going to be in April the 1st. Okay. Yeah. So at least if we were not able to get everything done on time, we can always say it's separate full forks.
Okay. But the idea of kickstarting in April 2019 and then out before the end of the year?
Yes, before the end of the year. Probably in Essen maybe we will have the first production copies ready. Okay. That's the timeline.
Okay. Does it feel like you're actually introducing a new game? I mean, when you market it to people, are people familiar with it, or?
Just the older one, maybe the old gamers, they remember the original game. They are so excited about this new version because they were maybe trying to find a copy to buy for their friends, and it's out of print right now. Right. But most of the people I talk with, for them, it's a completely new game. Okay. They never heard of the original version. And I think this is a very good game for families, and it will be this time more family-oriented, thanks to what Català did with the rules. I think now it's really a better game than the original, thanks to Català and the designers, Montblanc as well. They worked together and bring us something really cooler than the original one, but it can be also enjoyed by gamers because it gives you some kind of reward playing this game. It's not so it's an easy game, but it's still clever and nice, and also it has the wow effect. When we play. Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Giovanni.
Thank you for
Yeah,
stopping
it's
by.
quite a model you have up here, and we'll.
Yes, the scale is 1:1, so yes, this is the real size of the game. Just the components will be better, and probably you will be able to buy the painted, the completed painted version.
Okay.
We are trying to find it. Yeah,
Okay.
why not at this point?
That's right. Upscale,
Yes.
upscale, and everything. Okay. Thank you very much for the overview. Good luck.
Thank you so much. Bye bye.